こんばんは。 NBA はプレーオフの熱戦が続いています。現在はファーストラウンド。今晩はオーランドマジックとデトロイトピストンズの第3戦の模様をご紹介していくことにいたしましょう。スタジオのゲストをご紹介します。おなじみの島本和彦さんが私のお隣、そのお隣が大和証券バスケットボール部の広瀬正也さんです。お二人よろしくお願いします。
よろしくお願いします。
この両チームはここまでマジックが2勝と、今日が第3戦なんですが、ここまでどんなふうにご覧になってますか？
しばらくピストンズ、プレーオフに出てなかったんで、
そうですね、
エースグラントヒルをですね、筆頭に立てて、ようやっと出てきたというところですから、最初ですからしょうがないんじゃないですかね。
ファーストラウンドの場合には先に3勝して次のステージに行くわけなんですが、ここまでマジック連勝できましたが、やはりプレーオフの場合には短期の決戦という、広瀬さん、そんな感じがしますね。
そうですね、3つ勝てばいいということで、やはり戦い方もですね、3つ勝つための作戦を立ててきて、そういう戦い方をしていくということだと思うんですけどね。
さあ、それではまずイースタンカンファレンスのプレーオフの組み合わせをご紹介することにいたしましょう。ご覧いただきます。ご覧のようにブルーズはヒートです。ここまでブルーズが2連勝しています。キャブスにニクス、そしてマジックにピストンズ、ペーサーズにホークスという組み合わせです。このマジックピストンズは4月の26日に最初のゲームがありました。112対92でマジック、そして次のゲームは4月の28日92対77でマジックが連勝しています。果たして島本さん、マジックが3連勝するのかどうか。
やっぱりオーランド、昨年要するにファイナルまで行きましたね。そういう意味ではそのプレーオフの戦い方が慣れてますから、相手がちょっと格下であると、徹底的にやってくると思いますね。ですからそのままドドンといってしまうんじゃないかなという気がします。
まだまだその先が長いわけなんですが、広瀬さん、やはりマジックとしては去年の雪辱を果たしたいという、そういう気持ちが強いでしょうからね。
そうですね、決勝で4連敗してしまいましたからね、選手の中では秘めるものがあるんじゃないですかね。
一方のピストンズは先ほど久々のプレーオフというお話がありましたが、確か4年ぶりですよね。
そうですね、その前には、要するにバッドボーイズの頃には優勝してるわけですから、
そうですよね、2連覇の時代がありましたよね。
ですから再建しなきゃいけないところですね。
そういう意味では非常に先ほど名前が出ましたグラントヒルのような若手がね、かなり伸びてきてますね。その辺も注目したいと思います。さあ、今日の3戦のですねポイントは島本さん、どんなふうにご覧になりますか？
やはりですね、シャキール、センターのシャキール・オニールと、ガードのアンファニー・ハーダウェイ、このコンビがですね、どうしてもみんな待ってるっていうところじゃないですか。
そうですね。広瀬さんは今日のゲーム、どの辺に注目なさいますか？
そうですね、力的にマジックの方が上なんですけども、デトロイトのホームコートを帰ってきましたんでね、
そうでしたね、
ファンの後押しもありますので、ぜひ出だしから演奏頑張ってほしいと思ってます、
一気にね。さあ、それでは、ピストンズとマジックの第3戦の模様をこれから見ていくことにしましょう。
1989, the Orlando Magic hadn't even been formed yet, and the Detroit Pistons were winning the first of their back-to-back Bad Boy World Championships. Isaiah Thomas hoists the trophy. Grant Hill, meanwhile, was still in high school. After 4 years at Duke, Grant Hill comes to the rebuilding Detroit Pistons, and they find themselves down now to the expansion Orlando Magic, 2 games to none. But the Pistons did win 1 in the regular season against Orlando here at the Palace. The defending Eastern Conference champion, Orlando Magic.
You're going to see the big one so far has been Scott on Hill. You would say Hill should be able to take major advantage, give Scott a lot of credit.
O'Neal will play against West once again, who's just been too small, too little to match up with Shaquille O'Neal, but guess what? So is everybody else in the league. The tip goes to Orlando, leading 2 games to nothing. Our officials tonight, Ed Middleton, Hugh Hollins, and Nolan Fine. If there's any significance here for Detroit, head coach Doug Collins is wearing a tie tonight. first time since opening night he's not gone with the banded collar look. So when you're down 0-2, you try anything, Hubie.
Also, Shaquille O'Neal, they went into him that time. You could see the double team come from the baseline for the first time in the series. Big factor in game 2. Shaq caught the ball 21 out of 29 possessions in the first quarter.
Grant Hill trying the penetration, denied, kicked out, posting Thorpe, 5 to shoot. Otis Thorpe has it blocked by O'Neal. Horace Grant out to Nick Anderson.
If you are going to allow Shaq to stay down inside on the opposite side of the lane, he's a potential shot blocker.
Shaquille O'Neal, averaging 25 and a half in the series, gets his first 45 seconds into this ball game. Grant Hill with a high pick and roll with Mark West. Out of bounds, Orlando ball.
A major part of the Detroit offense, screen and roll or screen and spot up, and then isolations. Now, up until now in games 1 and 2, by Shaq stepping out and forcing the dribbler to get to half court, they've done an excellent job. But tonight, Bob, he was back in there. They could have turned the corner.
The officials changed the call, decided it was Detroit ball, and Dumars throws up a brick.
Because of tempo, Orlando will try to force the fast break as much as possible.
Horace Grant, 19-footer, not this time. Rebound West. 2-0 Orlando. Dumars penetrates. Almost threw that away. Nice heady play by Scott, who stepped out on Allen Houston.
Grant Hill has got to become more assertive. He's got to look to score tonight.
Like that. Doesn't get it. O'Neal with a rebound. Often overlooked on this great offensive Orlando team is their defense, and they've played excellent defense in the first 2 games of this series.
No double team coming early.
Keel missing, Grant rebounding. 3D, not this time. Runs down his own shot, takes it in, the dish. O'Neal with the double team.
Good call
against Detroit, and here's Kevin Kiley.
Pretty much telling Doug to just kind of keep it to himself. Now, I spoke with Grant Hill before the game. I said, are the players upset? He was philosophical. Grant said, hey, everybody has their moment in the sunshine. This is Orlando's moment in the sunshine. Then he talked about the bad boys who won the 2 consecutive NBA titles here in Detroit. He said, hey, people thought they did bad things when they won titles. When they were on their way down, it was payback time, leading everyone to believe that Grant feels sometime in the future it'll be payback time. Back to you, Bob.
9:40 to go, first period, 2-0 Orlando. Dumars with a rebound. Detroit has yet to score, but Orlando's been cold also, with the exception of the one Shaquille basket. Inside rebound, Thorpe. Offensive foul, Thorpe with that left shoulder.
That was a good call. He was inside, he hustled, got the inside position. Unfortunately for him, he led with his left shoulder right into Horace Grant. Keep an eye on it. Now watch what happens. As he picks it up, bam, not allowed to do it.
Detroit 0 for 4 from the floor, trailing 2-0.
Now at the defensive end of the floor for Detroit right now. This matchup, very tough on Grant Hill. He has to play Hardaway as well as run his team offensively.
Anderson with an air ball. Orlando giving Detroit an early opportunity here. The Pistons unable to take advantage of it. Bad pass. Horace Grant with a penetration. It reminded me of Ricky Pierce last night. Dennis Scott, 3.
As you can see, you're not worried about them exploding on the fast break. They fast break and then they pitch back or diagonal for the 3-point shot. That's where they're murdered.
Pick and roll. Allen Houston trying to penetrate and score. This is something the 6'6" guard for Detroit has added to his game this year, and he needs to add it to this playoff series. We're talking about scoring off the dribble and doing more than hitting the long-range bombs. 5-2, Pistons' first points of this game, and it took them 3.5 minutes.
Oh, big call. 3 seconds. You can see what's happening now. On the left side of the floor, when they throw into Shaquille O'Neal, they're bringing Thorpe on the baseline behind Shaq on the baseline double team. Now you're saying, well, what's happened? He's thrown one away, and he just picked up a 3-second call on Grant.
8 minutes to go, first period, 5-2 Orlando. Detroit down 0-2 in this first round series. Hill trying to penetrate obviously early here tonight. Thorpe with the offensive putback and again, as you pointed out, Hubie, a lot of good things happen if Hill penetrates.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't matter what he shoots at. A big thing, you're hoping he shoots it and has a great night, but you're looking for him to get fouled. You're looking for him to make the play, and then if he does miss, because of the shot blocking, that you'll get the offensive rebound.
The heady play of Penny Hardaway, but he missed 2 shots in a row, and back come the Pistons, 3-on-3. Dumars fouled by Dennis Scott.
I like what we're seeing here tonight. They're looking out for the fast break. Now here you have Hill on the penetration. Even you see Grant coming. Look at Shaq. Now once the miss, the guys that they left on the other side will have a major advantage on the offensive board.
Detroit a chance to take the lead. Allen Houston from 19. Detroit, that's a 2 with the lead. 6-5 after being down 5-0. 6 consecutive Piston points. 7:25 to go first period. Dumars on Anderson.
Bringing Penny on a curl.
Into the traffic. Thorpe got a piece of that. Rebound Horace Grant.
See, that's what Grant does the best at playoff time. He has an uncanny ability to get 4 offensive rebounds.
Otis Thorpe with a lay-in. Otis Thorpe plays much better at home for these Pistons than he does on the road, as does Terry Mills. He comes off the bench and been Detroit's 6th man who hasn't played well in the first 2 games. Dennis Scott missing. Orlando cold to start this ball game. Pistons up 8-7.
It's a clear out.
Houston in the paint.
Yeah,
Rebound Scott.
He was hit that time, and he was kind of bewildered there. He honestly thought that he was fouled and hit hard.
Into Shaquille O'Neal between the double team. Good defense with West and Dumars, and Orlando is 3 for 13 to open this game.
That was an excellent trap by Joe.
Dumars, 10-7 Pistons.
See, Doug Collins was reminding Eddie Middleton right now that Houston was fouled on the previous play. He really let him have it.
Pistons on a 10-2 run to lead 10-7. 5:55 to go in the period. Punched away from Hardaway. Anderson with 5 to shoot. That's a 2. Stops the 10-2 run. It's 10-9 Pistons.
Well, Nick's the unsung hero here with this ball club. He just does his job. He's an excellent defender and a very good rebounder for a guard. Always averages at least 5. And the main thing is he will finish for you. Now this is where Orlando is dangerous. Here's Penny Hardaway. As he moves up the court, you'll see Shaq come down, and then Grant will come down in this area. But what they look for is, look what happens right out here. See, this is where they hurt you. You're so concerned about people posting up, they kick the ball diagonally, and then all of a sudden that 3's in your face, either Anderson or Scott. Now, this is what they need tonight. They need a 3rd scorer. Hill, we know, will score. Houston will get his, but Joe Dumars or someone, either Dumars or Mills, must give them a lift. They need 3 guys to have primetime nights tonight.
Early substitutions for Detroit. Reed and Curry are into the game for the Pistons. Michael Curry, the player who's bounced around all over the world playing in the minor leagues and has had a good season here for Detroit. And Don Reed.
Well, I know as soon as I see that, I have to go through Shaq immediately.
So Detroit goes small. Houston missing. Rebound Grant. Punched away. That's 5 boards for Horace Grant early. He has 2 points, 5 rebounds. Thorpe has been a factor early. 4 points and 4 boards for Horace. Hardaway to Shaquille inside. Bodies flying everywhere. 10 to shoot. Orlando ball.
In the early going, this is the quickest and the most physical that Detroit has been with Shaq in getting to the double team. Now just watch the drop off. Now look at the rotation. See 2 guys right on top of him.
Hardaway gets Curry airborne and draws the foul.
But when you double team Shaq and you smack him around, it's like you and I being out at the pool with the mosquitoes. Okay, you know what I'm saying?
Grant Hill on the bench early. That's the earliest we've seen him sit down in this series.
Well, Hardaway just came off a terrific year. 11th in scoring at 21 a game, 11th in assists, 6th in steals. But in this series so far, he's been struggling with his shot, only shooting 42% and coming in at 16 a game.
Magic have resumed the lead, 11-10. 5:10 to go, first period of play. Grant Hill on the bench. Dumars running thing with Allen Houston, Don Reed, and the ball knocked out of bounds.
Now you can see Allen Houston took his eye off of what he was doing. He dribbled that ball right off his hip. Now Doug is trying a little bit of the weave coming out of the 1940s and 50s, but all they're doing is switching. Orlando just switches all ball crosses and all screens across the lane.
Successfully done. It's almost like playing a zone. They're all in the same place when you finish. Inside Hardaway. He's missed several shots down there. Big rebound from Curry, who is a great leaper at 6'6".
Yeah, good rebounder at that small forward position for them. Plus a very physical player.
Penny Hardaway is holding his arm. He's 0 for 4 tonight. Allen Houston needs to hit these shots. Not here. Knocked into the cheap seats by Anderson, and the foul is called.
Yeah, Penny Hardaway has something wrong, no doubt about that. Now here it is. Oh, there it is. As he came down, as he brought that right arm down, he hit right on to Curry. Now hopefully he only hit his funny bone. Let's hope that that's the extent of this.
This is a 3-shot foul, by the way, as Allen Houston was fouled by Nick Anderson, attempting a triple.
During the course of the year, Houston, an excellent shooter. We told you 43% in threes, 83% on the foul line.
Those 3 free throws there by Houston matched the series total of free throws by Grant Hill. 12-11 Pistons, 4:21 to go in the first period. Grant Hill on the bench early for Detroit.
That's all right. See, I like that. Reed, the rookie out of Georgetown, was right in the chest of O'Neal and not allowing that lob. Now keep an eye on it. See, he's going to change, look for the lob. Reed has got that forearm right on him. Anytime a guy tries to duck in like that, get him with a forearm, straighten him up, and then if he even rolls back to the basket, you still have contact.
Bad pass from Shaquille O'Neal out of bounds. Pistons leading it by 1. 4:08 to go in the first period. Pistons ball.
Once again, 2 guys on him quickly. That is their 3rd turnover going through the shot.
Unusual lineup here for Doug Collins. This is different lineup than we've seen in this series. Dumars with the penetration, nowhere to go. Out to Allen Houston. Hardaway steps to him.
Oh, nice pass.
Otis Thorpe.
In game 1, Otis Thorpe continued to catch the basketball behind the backboard, and that's exactly what happened that time. Good pass, bad percentage shot.
And that's the second on Don Reed.
Well, you can see tonight, Reed's expendable. You have Reed, you have West, you have Lechner, and maybe Ratliff. Now, in their rotation, Bob, during the course of the season, they used 8 men. Mills has played only 15 minutes a game. Hunter has only played in 1 of the 2 games, and Ratliff has not played at all. 3 key guys in the 8-man rotation of Detroit.
Dumars goes out. Grant Hill is back in. So now Detroit has Curry, Allen Houston, Grant Hill, Thorpe, and Don Reed. It's 13-12 Orlando as Shaquille sharp at the line early. 2 for 2.
Now here is a little bit of a trap with Horace Grant, the key guy, coming down the floor. It looked like a 2-2-1, except it rotated right into a man-to-man once they got to half court.
7 to shoot before Detroit really gets into their offense. Thorpe with Grant right in his face. Nice move, Otis Thorpe.
They need you, fella. You put some markers up on the board. That's going to force them to double team, and will open up the outside game.
Thorpe has 6. Nick Anderson thought about the 3. Grant Hill stepped on him and committed the foul.
And that is Grant Hill's second. That's a costly one. Nick gives him a little bit of a head fake, and he steps up. Doug Collins very upset. Now this is a good fadeaway by Thorpe. You know, he likes this shot.
So Grant Hill, who spent 3 minutes on the bench, has now got 2 fouls. He may have to come right back out of there. Nick Anderson missing at the free throw line, and Hill will go back to the bench. Dumars got about a 15-second rest and sits down with 3:02. Does Hill with 3:02 to go in the first period, and the Pistons up by 1.
Interesting. Both of these teams shooting poorly at the foul line. In this series, the Magic are shooting 59, the Pistons 69.
Very low scoring first quarter. Of course, that's what the Pistons want to do. Run time off the clock, keep possession, slow the game down, shorten the game, and they're doing it here. It's tied at 14 with under 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. Bad pass from Don Reed, attempting to get it back to Dumars, spotting up for 3. Scott.
That's what he does best.
That's 2 tonight for Dennis.
Penny Hardaway, 6th in the league in steals. Steals the ball, runs it down, kicks it across diagonally, and then the man who attempts 8 a game did nothing but drain it.
Allen Houston never gets an open look at the basket. Curry missing badly from beyond the 3-point line. The Detroit Pistons have been a pretty good perimeter shooting team most of the year, but they have not had any shots go unchallenged in this series. Orlando by 3. Nick Anderson. That's 2 threes in a row. Orlando by 6. Just like that. 2 to go in the first period.
In this series, Nick Anderson is now 5 for 11 in threes. And then Dennis Scott is now 10 for 15.
Orlando by 6 with 1:59 to go in the first period. Shaquille O'Neal has 4 points and a couple of rebounds. Shaquille's under the weather for this game, not feeling well, going into the locker room here with 2 minutes to go in the first period. We understand he's all right and is expected back, but this gets him a little time to breathe more before the quarter ends, and John Koncak gets into the ball game. And Kevin Kiley, what do you have for us?
Well, I had a conversation with John Koncak, who you just saw coming into the game. Before the game, he re-injured his Achilles tendon on Sunday in Game 2. He's very limited. He said if he had to chase somebody down the floor on a break, he had trouble catching him. He's not jumping well, and he's just trying to get it done out there. Back to you.
Thanks, Kevin. Lindsey Hunter is in the game. He did not play at all, the backup point guard for Detroit, and Terry Mills comes in for Don Reed. So it's Thorpe, Mills, Dumars, Hunter, and Allen Houston. Grant Hill remains on the bench with 2 minutes to go in the quarter with 2 personal fouls.
Now with Hunter and Dumars out there, you know Orlando with their 6'7" and 6'6" guard can post at any time.
That's how they were so successful early in the season when Shaquille O'Neal was out injured, hosting those guards. Here's Houston on the penetration. There's Koncak, who comes in to force him to get rid of the ball. It's out of bounds, Orlando's, and that's Detroit's 5th turnover for Detroit.
Right now, the passes, Bob, people are opening up, but the passes are too hard, and they're just blowing right by the Detroit offensive guys who are open.
Horace Grant open. Rebound Thorpe. That's 6 rebounds for Otis Thorpe already in this game, playing better than he has earlier in the 2 games previously. Here's Allen Houston.
Like it.
And 1. Hold it. Hugh Hollins is waving the basket off. We've got a foul against Detroit. Illegal defense is the call, so do not count the basket.
Yeah, the basket counts. He made the field goal, but they also call it defensive violation.
He waved the basket off, but it's count. It's on the board.
You can't wave the basket off on a shot like that just because the guy called illegal defense. The shot was already up before he blew his whistle.
Well, he waved it off,
yeah.
but he's not allowed to. 22 to 16. We have 57 seconds in the period.
We brought up this point about Horace Grant. Horace Grant is a terrific defender, a great rotator in their defense, but you have got to keep him off the offensive boards. He's averaging 4 a game in this series.
Hugh Hollins with the call. It's against Orlando. John Koncak.
See, when this shot goes up, he's right in the middle of your screen, so he'll come right down the middle. And anytime that goes up, you know who the offensive rebounders are. The guys assigned to them have got to get into their chest. Grant right now, 3 offensive boards already, you know, and we still are in the first quarter.
Pistons have been able to score only 16 points. Houston with the penetration, losing the ball again. Brian Shaw at the point in place of Hardaway, who's moved over to the 2 guard. Now Dennis Scott running things with 30 seconds to go in the period and 12 on the shot clock.
There's the post up.
Hardaway. Money in the bank.
See, Hardaway and Anderson can shoot at will up over the top of Dumars and Lindsey Hunter.
24-16 Orlando, 15 seconds in the period.
Right now in this first quarter, you like the tempo that Detroit has, but you do not like the fact that they've had 6 turnovers.
Houston one-on-one down to Thorpe, pounding it inside. He does draw the foul with 2 seconds on the shot clock.
Foul John contact. That's a second. Penalty, 6 ways.
Right now they're going to the strong set of their game. Shaq is not in there, so you post Hardaway and you run everything through him. The double team is late, and any time that you turn to the baseline, you're going to get a clean look.
There's 2 fouls on contact now, very quickly fouled out of the game on Sunday. 6 quick, hard fouls for contact. He's had 2 early ones here, and Joe Wolf is going to get into the game for the final 2.7 seconds of this period. Horace Grant will go to the bench. Grant does not have any fouls, and they don't want to get him before the period ends.
Well, Thorpe, who's on the foul line right now, 2 years ago was a starter for Houston when they won the championship, and during that 20 games, he averaged 11 points and 10 rebounds. And what he's doing now in this series is exactly the same. 11 points and 10 rebounds.
24-18. 6-point Orlando lead. They'll have chance for 1 shot. Hardaway over a double.
Oh, wow. That's a triple. Caught it with 2 guys right on top of him. First of all, he made a great move to receive the pass. And then as he spun, 2 guys right in his face.
Orlando 20-8, the last 6 minutes of the quarter, including this triple from Anthony Hardaway.
Now just watch as it goes up right there, trying to take away the look. Nothing but bottom of the net. Games 1 and 2 in the first half. Tied, down by 3. But it's been the second half where Orlando has outscored Detroit by 16 in each of the games.
Hardaway pull up from 12 feet off the glass. Shaquille over everybody for the rebound, but can't control it. Grant Hill out to Dumars. Orlando back quickly to transition defense, but they forget about Otis Thorpe.
What a great pass by Joe Dumars. Allowed that to develop, Bob.
1-point ball game. Nick Anderson looking for O'Neal in the post against West. Back offensive popped him with his arm. No call. Rebound. Thorpe. A chance for the Pistons to take the lead with 4:52 to go in the first period of play.
Wow. They got away with murder on that.
High screen and roll. Shaquille, you see him step out there to stop that screen and roll. I mean, he's back down there quickly. 7 to shoot.
Now spread it out. Let him take them.
Dumars over Grant. Tough shot.
There you go.
Dumars, that's a 2. And the Pistons have regained the lead.
You have to see those things, Bob. When you have that big man, little man, when you got an established player like a Dumars and scorers like Houston and Grant, you must take advantage of that.
First Pistons lead since it was 10-8. Crowd into this game. 23,000 at the Palace. Scott gets the basket and 1. Throwing up the prayer when he saw he was fouled in the lane, but that's a shooter for you. Allen Houston with the personal.
Scott cannot make a shot unless it's a 3. Look at this. You look at this.
It could be a 3 here in a moment.
He heard the whistle. He just threw up a so help me God shot, and he catches the rim.
Well, gets him some more of my pub. You know, I like to take care of this Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket. 12 points for Scott. He gives me an opportunity. You'll have to say that. 42 to 40. Magic. 4:03 to go in the period. Hugh Holland stopping play with the whistle. Doug Collins asking why. Looks like an illegal defense call.
Right now, everyone is confused. You and I are confused.
Now he says it's no call.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand what it was. I mean, no one on the floor had any idea.
I heard one word from the mouth of Hugh Hollins, and it was isolation. Sometimes that can be an offensive call.
Absolutely.
But he decided against it.
Right. Now this is a clear out right here.
There's an isolation for you.
Wave off the basket. The foul before Hill penetrated.
Hill got hit right on the hip. Right in the lower back on the right side.
It's 2 on Anderson.
Now keep an eye on this now. As he steps by, there it is. He got kicked.
I'm not sure he put the ball back on the floor, but nevertheless, the basket's waved off. Pistons can pull to a tie once again with 3:54 to go in the half. But as you pointed out a moment ago, Hubie, the Pistons have seen this in this series before. They were tied at half in one game and close in game 2.
Main thing is they're home. They ended the season strong, won 15 out of 17 in this building, added a lot of confidence to this young ball club. They have a lot of young guys here, and we told you in game 1, 7 of these guys have never played in a playoff game.
I wonder if the cook at the Pistons hotel's a Pistons fan where the Orlando Magic are staying. Shaquille O'Neal with stomach flu and having problems. It's definitely affecting his play tonight. Anderson pounding it inside. Great heads-up play by Grant Hill, tied at 42. Dumars wants to take Hardaway. To Mark West, spinning inside. First the foul.
He's shooting the penalty.
That'll be 2 on Shaquille O'Neal.
Mark West began this season as the leading field goal percentage shooter of any active player. Over 13 years shot right at between 58-59%. And unfortunately, he's only a 53% shooter throughout his career on the foul line.
Well, if he could get in there where he scores his field goals, he could score better there.
Yeah, but one of the top 10 shot blockers in the history of the league, out of Old Dominion College. Had a great college career and has had an outstanding pro career.
Well, with Kevin Kiley and Hugh Brown, this is Bob Neal with you from the Palace. Orlando leading in this series 2-0. First round Eastern Conference, but right now it's tied at 42. And the Detroit Pistons hoping to stave off elimination from the Palace of Auburn Hills. 1 out of 2 for Mark West, a 1-point Pistons lead. Penny Hardaway, 9 points in the game. Posting up Dumars. Offensive foul.
Well, they've been working. They've been working very hard defensively. This is more like what we expected to see from a defensive standpoint from Detroit in the series. Joe's right on. See, Joe's going to get this call. Why? He was a first-team All-NBA defensive player 4 times.
Right. Lindsey Hunter goes down there. Probably not.
Probably not.
Sure.
That's why before, when we had the spin in the lane by O'Neal, definitely clearing out with the elbow, you know, you get a guy in there without a defensive reputation, he's not getting the call.
Pistons by a point. 3 minutes to go in the first half. Anthony Bowie right in the face of Allen Houston. Houston has not had many good looks. That's a pretty good look on the baseline, but it doesn't go down. Run down by Otis Thorpe, who held off Penny Hardaway, so he'll get called for the foul.
Yeah, and you know what happened? He held him, Bob, with his right hand as he was hustling for the ball.
That's 2 on Otis Thorpe. We have a timeout on the floor with just under 3 minutes to go in the half. The Pistons are up 1. Detroit with the lead, and their captain, their man, number 4, Joe Dumars, stepping up big here tonight. First time he stepped up really big was in the 1989 NBA Finals, where Joe Dumars averaged 27.3 a game in the Pistons' 4-game sweep of the Los Angeles Lakers. Mahorn, Laimbeer, Dumars, Thomas. It's a Hall of Fame career, and tonight, Joe Dumars with 9 points, 7 in the second quarter, 4 assists, all came in the second quarter.
Not bad for a guy who was picked the 18th pick in the draft in 1985. They weren't so sure whether he could do it. He was only the 4th leading scorer in the history of the NCAA out of McNeese State.
Michael Curry in now.
Joe just said, I'm a guard. I'm not a point guard or a two guard. I just play.
Bowie left alone and knocks down the two. Houston didn't defend him, and the Magic have the lead. Kevin Kiley, what do you have for us?
Doug Collins very agitated early in the game with the turnovers, no ball movement, but in this last timeout, very upbeat. In fact, slapping 5 with Joe Dumars on that defensive play under Orlando's basket. Back to you.
Otis Thorpe trying to backhand Horace Grant, and that's an illegal defense called, easy for me to say, against the Orlando Magic.
Well, if you're noticing, Horace Grant gets no help on post-up. He is their main defender, their best defender. And anytime that you post him up, they stay with the three-point shooters. They allow Horace to play you man-to-man. That's why it's important that Thorpe establishes a game and takes him to the rim.
Grant Hill back into the game. Only one field goal in this game for Detroit's leading scorer, Grant Hill. He has 6 points, 4 free throws. Magic by a point, 2:15 to go in the half.
All right, there's a switch. Here's your mismatch. Houston's got to burn him. Now you got to take Grant.
Lost the dribble.
There you go. And one. So you never give up on it. I don't care how good that front court player is. When you're a guy with offensive tools, you have got to challenge this guy and take him. And you say, well, what's the big deal? You know, he'll stop him more than up. Well, the key is not only did he score in his face, he picked up a foul. Now, the next time that happens, I guarantee you Grant will lay off him a half a step, and he'll be able to shoot the shot in his face.
Houston with 12 points in this game. Thorpe sits down, Reed checks in, and the Pistons are up by 1 and a chance to go to 2. Grant Hill also back to the bench.
This young man really has some future. He's just a beautiful shooter, and he's getting more confidence in his ball handling. That's an area that he has to keep improving on. But the range, the medium game, the ability to finish, all there.
Penny Hardaway isolated with Michael Curry now. Curry, pretty good defender. 10 seconds, Shaquille posted deep. That's not his night. The follow-up and the stick back by Mr. Unheralded Nick Anderson.
Yeah, you see, once again, the height to the guards. Joe Dumars had inside position, Anderson right up over the top of him.
Minute 35 and a half. Tied at 46. Dumars to Allen Houston with 6 to shoot.
Now, Bowie's pretty tough now. He's right up on him.
Bad pass.
Look out, Long.
Curry can leap. But he didn't. And Anderson scores 48-46.
No reason for that. When you lose the ball down in your left-hand corner, where's the defensive rotation? That never should have happened.
Magic by 2 with a minute to go. Here's the high screen and roll. At the mismatch, Dumars going to be open for that shot from 13. Doesn't go. Recovered by Dumars, kept alive by Reed. Dumars misses it. Hit by Mark West.
Yes.
Tied at 48. West has 7.
They're doing a really fine job getting up on the offensive glass, making themselves, you know, feel the pressure. And once again, there you go.
There's the offensive ball against Shaquille O'Neal.
Absolutely. And, you know, it's about time, Bob, because he is really pounding into the chest of whoever is playing him. And you know yourself, we're talking 320 pounds.
Shaq goes to the bench.
The referees, the games are going to be refereed differently. In games 1 and 2 at home, he got away with all of that offensive stepping into guys' chests. Well, this is a road game right now, so he's going to have to adjust when he come out here.
Grant Hill spins on Hardaway, loses the ball, and Dumars has to foul at the other end as Anderson was about to take it to the hoop. Grant Hill spins into the lane and lost the handle on it. That's the second foul on Dumars with 25.8 seconds to go. This has not been Grant Hill's half. He has 1 field goal, 6 points, 2 personal fouls.
It's the unnecessary turnovers, Bob. Detroit with 9, and they're just careless turnovers. You wouldn't mind if the defense, you know, was so aggressive that they were having difficulty dribbling. They're dribbling the ball off of their foot right to them, and then they pass the basketball in congested areas. If they just take care of the basketball a little bit better so that you get the shots. If you're shooting 48 to 50% and you just save 4 possessions, you're talking 4 points here.
Joe Wolf in for the final 25.8 seconds. As Anderson will step to the free throw line for the 3-point opportunity. his own board. Offensive rebounding on the missed free throw, a cardinal no-no.
Oh, the third guy on the lane. Where is the third guy on the lane? Right now, just think about this. Orlando has 12 points off of Detroit's 9 turnovers, and Detroit's shooting 52%.
4 seconds in the period. With 2 seconds. Anderson drills it. That's a 2. 51-48. And that's the end of the first half, and it ends on an uptick for the Orlando Magic, leading 51-48, hoping to sweep Detroit and get some rest in before moving into the second round. Nick Anderson, 10 in the quarter, 16 in the game. Shot clock goes out on top of the backboard. They'll put shot clocks in the corner via the old days for the 24-second shot clock. I don't know what's going on right now, but that's why we do have a delay here in Detroit tonight. Sellout crowd at the Palace. This is the first playoff game here in 4 years. And Kevin, what have you been able to find out about what's wrong with this clock?
Well, I just talked to some Pistons management. It's a loose connection under the stand somewhere. They thought they had it fixed, threw up their hands and headed back down underneath. It's not fixed yet, just a wire.
Boom, they go right out. They unscrew the shot. It goes off. They bring in a new one faster than the shot clock right here.
This fella here putting this together reminds me of me setting up my computer. I got bad news for him. This could take a long time. Now apparently they put it on the wrong side of extension and they're moving it over here. This is a hoot. This game is underway, and we will be playing with a shot clock at one end and no shot clock at the other to start the second half. And Allen Houston hits the two-pointer, and it's a one-point game.
Well, if you forgot about the replays, Allen Houston finished that first half with 13 points. Now has 15.
Enjoyed seeing a little bit of that game over on our sister network TBS, however, the Lakers and Houston. We're glad to be able to bring you that bonus coverage. Shaquille O'Neal hits his first shot of the second half, just like he did to begin the game. Shaquille then missed 9 shots in a row in the first half.
Shaq is now 2 for 10 from the floor. Remember, he's carrying 3 fouls.
Mark West with the jump shot miss. The Magic by 3. Shaquille again, they're going right back to that. Remember, Shaquille playing with the stomach virus tonight. Baseline shot goes down and 1. And for Mark West, that will be foul number 2.
Kind of interested here because in the first half, they spent so much time double teaming, bringing the guy on the baseline side. Now, I know that time Orlando lifted. That means that they had all their players above the foul line area.
Shaquille O'Neal missing the free throw. It was an 18-minute delay while they found the shot clock to replace the one that went out above the backboard and then couldn't figure out a way to plug it in. Magic by 5, 10:44 to go in the third quarter. Joe Dumars jumper goes in, and Joe Dumars having himself the best game he's had of this series. That's his 11th point.
Bob, that was a ball fake, a step through, and when he elevated, he was 20 feet from the basket.
Dennis Scott trying to post up against Allen Houston, gets him in the air, but the violation is called on Dennis Scott for traveling.
Well, they're calling dragging the pivot foot that time. It was a great move. It was a good idea as he came down in there with that reverse spin and then the up and under.
2 minutes gone in the third quarter. Yeah, in case you went away at halftime and just came back, wonder why you haven't missed anything. 18-minute delay because of the shot clock malfunction. This foul is on Horace Grant. Coming up right after this game on TNT, we'll be going out to the West Coast. Sean Kemp and Seattle try to rebound from Sunday's loss to the Kings. They're in Sacramento for game 3 of that series right after this one. Magic by 3. Trying to post up Grant Hill. Gets inside, he's fouled by Dennis Scott.
Dennis Scott loves to strip you as you turn in on him anytime you're in the posted area. That time he got caught because he grabbed the arm. Grant Hill did not complete the shot attempt. He went for the pass off.
That's 2 personal fouls on Dennis Scott, and the rare post-up that we've seen of Hill against Scott in the series.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting here that they're putting him on the foul line and saying that he was shooting.
Missing the free throw. That's only his 5th. There's Janet Hill, Grant's mom, attorney in Washington, D.C. Dad, of course, Calvin. 2-point Magic lead, 9:57 to go in the 3rd quarter. Penny Hardaway with 9 points in the first half, only 3 assists for Anthony, and only 1 rebound. This isn't going to go either, but the foul is on Grant Hill.
Well, I like the strategy. You have to attack him if he's going to play him Hardaway the entire game.
Kevin Kiley.
Bob, I just spoke with Daryl Garrison again. As he went back up into the stands, he understood they were going to turn off both shot clocks, that both coaches had agreed to it. Evidently, he says they changed their mind. No one can protest this game because they cannot play it unless both coaches agree to the mechanics on the floor. Evidently, it's okay with Doug Collins and the Pistons that they count the clock down and they don't have a visual clock to go by. Back to you.
All right, 4-point Magic lead, 9:36 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Grant Hill steps in there only about 15 feet away to shoot over Dennis Scott.
Well, you like it when guys hit in the high post and they turn and face their man. The majority of defenders, Bob, take a step back. That gives you the immediate shot if you have range.
Grant Hill's 2nd field goal of the game. Offensive foul, Shaquille O'Neal, and that's 4 on O'Neal. Hubie, you and I were talking about this today.
Well, but you know, we brought that out in the first half also. See, each game has a different personality. Now just watch. You see as he keeps going in. Now in games 1 and 2, you got away with all of that. No fouls. But here in this arena, that is his 4th foul. This changes the entire strategy. We have 21,000 people in here who are now saying, you know what, we can do it, we can do it.
We can come back Thursday is what Detroit is hoping to say. Magic lead it by 2, though. John Koncak comes in. He's done a good job filling in for Shaquille all year, except John Koncak re-injured his Achilles on Sunday and is playing very sore. Rebound, Horace Grant.
Yeah, but he's a better than adequate guy to fill in because he's a good defender. He's a very intelligent player and a good rebounder.
Penny Hardaway with the pull-up bank shot. 4-point Magic lead. Horace Grant, by the way, ho-hum, another night at the office, 12 rebounds here. Hardaway looked like he had come up lane, but is not.
Excellent defensive play by Nick Anderson.
Houston, LA in a close one in the 2nd quarter at Houston.
Nick got popped right in the windpipe as he doubled back that time, rotated to help out on Joe Dumars.
Yeah, as long as they don't hit us in our windpipe, you know, he can play with that. Grant Hill inside again, another foul. Remember, coming into this game after 2 of the 5-game series had been played, Grant Hill had only been to the free throw line 3 times. And now for the first time in this game tonight, here comes Terry Mills. He had been the 6th man for Detroit all year, suffered in the first 2 games and did not play in the first half.
This is your #1 scorer off the bench. A little less than 10 points a game. A shade less. You need him for not only your rebounding, but you need him for your perimeter shooting. He is an outstanding 3-point shooter at 40% for a guy 6'10".
And I should correct myself, he played brief seconds in the first half, but this is his first significant time. Magic by 2. Played his college basketball at nearby University of Michigan in Ann Arbor. Nick Anderson popped Dumars, got away with it. Now Hardaway taking Hill.
What you are watching is a very intelligent team here offensively. They know that Grant Hill is in foul situation where he doesn't want to get in early foul trouble for this half. They have cleared out now 3 times, and Hardaway has taken him off the dribble and is getting A, the score, B, to the foul line.
Thorpe came over to help out, and that's Otis Thorpe's 3rd. Grant Hill has 3 fouls. Shaquille O'Neal on the bench for Orlando with 4 personal fouls. 62-57 Orlando. Detroit trying to avoid the blowout 3rd quarters they've suffered in Orlando in games number 1 and 2. Dumars was smothered that time. Anderson denied the penetration as Detroit had 3 players back. Hardaway.
But the guy who blocked the pass, John Concat.
Hardaway beating Grant Hill again off the dribble, missing the bank shot. Rebound, Otis Thorpe.
You got to take advantage of this.
That's a travel by Grant Hill.
Oh my, oh my, oh my.
Grant Hill really struggling. Only 2 field goals in this game tonight.
Anytime that Penny Hardaway stays at the other end of the floor, you have the advantage 5-on-4. You've got to create it and get a good high percentage shot.
A 20-second timeout is called as Hardaway fell down, and before he could roll over and travel, he calls the 20, and that gives the timeout to Orlando, leading by 5, 62-57. Must be a funny phase of the moon here. We've had a disjointed kind of game being played here, and the shot clock going out in Detroit.
See, if that was high school or college, that would have been a travel. But pro basketball, you can fall to the floor, roll over, and get up, and everything is fine.
7:48 remaining in the third quarter. That's the shot clock that they have now. That's why the fans are cheering. It took only 30 minutes to get that thing plugged in. I set up my computer in 28 and a half minutes.
I know you were very proud of yourself that day.
Of course, I had instructions. Probably no instruction for that shot clock. 5-point Magic lead. 7:45 to go, third quarter. Hardaway really working on isolations with Grant Hill. High screen and roll there with Scott. 5 to shoot. Dennis Scott backing in. Houston, what a play by Dennis Scott. He just pushed Allen Houston right down off the court.
I like what they're doing here. The big guys out of the game, and they're working at where they have an advantage.
This is what they did at the beginning of the season when Shaquille O'Neal was out, posting up those guards. Otis Thorpe. Hardaway lost that out of bounds off his foot. It'll be Detroit ball.
When Shaq stepped out of the game, we all thought that this was their chance. And instead, what we have seen is Detroit has lost their concentration at the offensive end of the floor. There is no flow.
Detroit with a small lineup. Terry Mills not small at 6'10", but he plays small because he's a perimeter offensive player. 64-57 Orlando. Dumars misses from 3. Concact with the rebound. John, as you pointed out, Hubie, does a good, quiet job filling in when Shaquille's out of there.
Oh, he knows his role.
Dennis Scott pounding inside. They get Allen Houston for the hand check, and we've got a timeout.
See, you love this, because in game 1, anytime that they posted Allen Houston, he would put both hands on the player, automatic foul. It's exactly what he did in that situation.
Team sport, Detroit takes timeout. Ladies and gentlemen, Target presents
64-57. John Concact came in with 9:18 to go in the period. Since then, Orlando has outscored Detroit 7-2. So Shaq's on the bench with 4. But Concact, who knows his role and does whatever's required of him, including if it's foul out real quickly.
See, you love it. I fouled guys 6 times. Hard. He knows his role. He said, I saved 3 or 4 points. And you're just like that, because he's been in, let's say, 10 years he was with Atlanta in the playoffs the majority of times. He understands making guys go to the foul line and make their foul shots.
Hardaway guarded by Otis Thorpe now. Gets him out on the court for the penetration. The kick out to Nick Anderson. Rebound Thorpe. Well, that was a battle with Thorpe and Grant going up for that. Here's Terry Mills. Finally hits a perimeter shot. Terry Mills finally makes his presence felt. He can light it up from out there and did so regularly during the regular season.
He's a good percentage shooter, Bob, and a terrific three-point shooter. He's only shooting 30% in the series.
Hardaway against Grant Hill. There's the double team. Open man is Grant Scott. There's Grant Scott. Dennis Scott. Horace Grant with 2 to shoot. No problem.
Horace is death right at that top of that circle. Loves that 17 to 20-foot shot.
They're trying to get Terry Mills off here, but he's denied somebody in his face every time. Allen Houston missing. Thorpe with the rebound. Contact denied him the putback, so they'll restart it. Otis Thorpe gets that bucket to go with his 10 rebounds. And Thorpe has 12 points.
If they would post Hill, they would get the double team, because you can see anytime now they realize they're running right at him, and that's going to free up people.
Horace Grant left all alone as he ball faked Dumars to Anderson. Dumars said, who am I going to cover here? Anderson for 3 or Grant for 2? He chose Anderson. Grant hit the 2.
Absolutely, Bob.
Thorpe, 12 points. Good post position.
Notice no double team. See, I like that Orlando theory. You've got to prove to me right now that you can score down in there. Now, they'll double team Hill, but they're not double teaming anyone else. Now, just keep an eye. Now, as the ball goes back out right now, Dumars is late getting there and did not challenge. Shot it right in your face. And there is another one. Once again, the rotator is late getting there. They're saying, well, I want to stay with the three-point guy. We'll make Horace Grant hit the shots. Unfortunately, in the series, he's making them all.
Houston with the penetration and the miss. Contact picked up the foul on that last play. Contact already with 4 fouls in about 4 minutes. Hardaway fouled on the drive.
Oh, count the basket on the continuation. Look at Doug Collins is going wild. And he gets a technical from Ed Middleton. Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, Joe Dumars is trying to plead his case with no fine right now.
Oh, you could see that coming.
Absolutely. And a very smart move by Penny Hardaway, because he continued to make his move.
And it's Hill's 4th foul to boot. Doug Collins says, where was the continuation on our
and also, where's the respect? Because there was very little physical contact here. Now, just keep an eye here. Now they switch, and they catch him coming in here. And right there was very little contact at all, okay? But Hardaway, smart, continued and took the shot. Doug Collins is going wild at nullifying. Eddie Middleton stepped right in and called the technical foul.
And Doug flirting with another one. Second one would get him out of this ball game. And his first season here in Detroit quickly. It's a 9-point Orlando lead. Once again, the third period proving to be, at least momentarily, the undoing of the Detroit Pistons. Dennis Scott shoots the technical. And now Penny Hardaway will go in. So this will, if Penny Hardaway hits a free throw, end up being a 4-point play. It's a 10-point lead.
See, the referees are saying that he catches him with his foot here. Well, you see right there, and the 2 replays that we have, incidental contact, plus it's Grant Hill, and also the one angle showed that there was really no bumping to knock him off stride. Then they said that it was a foot. But you could see right there was no foot.
Now they've changed their mind and taken the basket away. So Penny Hardaway gets 2 free throws. If he hits it, it'll be a 3-point play instead of a 4.
Now just keep an eye on it. There's your bump, and there's his move. And he shot it. Now, come on, that should have been a continuation.
So it turns into a 2-point play as Anthony Hardaway misses, and the Magic lead it by 9 instead of what would have been 11. It has been a strange. Is it a full?
No, I like that. No, I agree with you. It really has been.
Terry Mills with the penetration and the kick out. Curry got the pass to Terry, and Terry missed the long-range shot, and Thorpe.
Otis Thorpe taking Nick Anderson to the ground there in a loose ball foul.
That's the 4th on Otis. Here's the GMC scoreboard. Houston up over the Lakers by 1. And the team foul situation with 4:25, Pistons over the limit, and the Magic will be on their next foul that they commit.
Now Nick Anderson had a very solid first half. Not only the 16 points, but the 4 rebounds. He was 6 for 8 from the floor, and then a big 2 for 3 in threes.
At the Palace in Detroit, full house here for Detroit's attempt at keeping their season alive. They lose, they go home here tonight. Orlando leading 2-0 in the series. It's 70-61. It's been close most of the way. The Magic led by as many as 10 early in the ball game. Right now on a 12-4 run to lead by double digits, 71-61. Grant Hill on the bench with 4 for Detroit, and Shaquille O'Neal on the bench with 4 for Orlando. Allen Houston having a tough time shooting the ball tonight.
The offense, since Shaq has gone out, the Orlando defense has stepped up. And
Rebound
offense
West
for Detroit is just out of sync.
Houston, great play by Hardaway. 20 seconds on the shot clock.
They just cannot make anything look easy in this in the last 8 minutes. Now you see good crossover, take him to the basket strong. See when he tried to come back. If he takes him to the basket strong, he gets fouled.
Now Ratliff is in the game. Terry Mills controls that. That's not an over and back. It was touched by Horace Grant. Long range. Allen Houston missing. 5 for 15 tonight, Allen Houston.
Ratliff, this is his first appearance in the playoffs. Did not play in games 1 or 2.
Open man Joe Wolf, good shooter.
They have specialists here. Joe Wolf can hit that jump shot just like Grant. They bring in Koncak. He blocks shots, he rebounds, he fouls people, and he plays extremely well off the ball in the lane area.
22nd timeout on the floor with 3:26 to go in the period, and a 12-point Orlando lead. That is their biggest lead of the ball game, and it's really been interesting. The third period has been the downfall of the Pistons in all 3 of these games.
Well, they come out, they seem to be disorganized.
Yeah.
Nothing seems to flow. It's very choppy. The offense is choppy. They shoot the basketball, and they only get 1 shot attempt. They are getting no second shots. So you got to give Orlando a little bit of credit there. 16-6. You can see in the last 5:45.
Talk about the specialist here, Joe Wolf hitting the jump shot as he came in. He'll be talking about Joe Wolf can come in for Horace Grant. He's certainly not the rebounder, but he is an excellent perimeter shooter. As you see, when they double off of him, he's there for it, and Ratliff didn't get to him.
Well, we always bring this out, Bob, at playoff time. If you do not have an inside game, it is so difficult to win at playoff time. You're playing all teams that have excellent records, and they don't have to double team you. If you notice, Orlando, you've got to double team all their post-up people, or they're just going to take you one-on-one and burn you.
Dumars looking for Terry Mills in the post, and Penny Hardaway commits the foul. Plus, Orlando in this period only shooting 73%, 8 of 11. Detroit 5 of 14, 36%.
I think how they started out the quarter. Go right at Grant Hill. Penny Hardaway continued to go right at him. Took him 3 or 4 times off the dribble. Then, boom, they posted up. Scott on Houston. Kept taking him down inside. Working the mismatch that they thought they had.
It's only the 3rd free throw of this series for Terry Mills. He's now 2 out of 3. Shaquille O'Neal, you saw a moment ago, on the bench with 4 fouls. And Terry Mills gets them both, cuts it back to a 10-point Orlando lead with 3:13 in the quarter.
Well, a few stops here, getting out and completing the play at the other end, preferably with a couple of threes, and you're right back in this.
We've got Curry, Michael Curry, on Hardaway right now. Hardaway's a couple of inches bigger than him, too. Curry punching it away. He will play hard defense.
Oh, yeah, he's feisty.
Nick Anderson's pull-up won't go down. Horace Grant over the back.
One of the very few times that Horace has been, stopped from getting to the offensive glass.
That's his 3rd personal foul. We have a timeout on the floor with 2:50 to go in the 3rd. Magic by 10. This game here on TNT tonight at Sacramento.
Well, I just thought that Sacramento Seattle game was a terrific ball game. And not only did Mitch Richmond play well, but once Olden Polynice was injured, Smith came in off the bench along with Grant. They did a terrific rebounding job, and then Marciulionis made some big plays in that last quarter.
Terry Mills making his presence felt here at the free throw line. 4 consecutive free throws for him. Magic by 8 points. Shaquille on the bench with 4 fouls. Grant Hill on the bench for Detroit with 4 fouls.
Oh, offensive foul. Offensive foul. Good call by you Hollins. There was a back screen by Joe Wolf. Sit up right from the foul line to the top of the circle. And it was really a smash.
Looks like a train wreck.
Now keep an eye on this. Now watch Joe coming up here to set the screen. I mean, you can't do that. I mean, he looked like a Vince Lombardi pulling guard on the end sweep in the old days of the Green Bay Packers.
Dumars almost turning it over. Mills on the penetration.
Oh,
missing the lay-in.
Oh my, can't miss those.
3 on 3. Hardaway fouled out at the top.
See, that's a bad foul. First of all, you miss the layup, then you compound it by fouling because they're shooting the penalty. Make the guy shoot. Make him shoot the basketball. Don't foul him when he's a good foul shooter like Penny Hardaway.
We've said it before, Terry Mills not a good inside player. Out of balance there to miss that one too far into the hoop. 73-65 Orlando. About to build a 10-point lead again if Hardaway hits this one as Lindsey Hunter checks back into the game for Michael Curry.
Always comes down to, Bob, in the NBA, can you finish the play in the paint with these big bodies intimidating? Well, you know, you guys make a lot of great moves, but they don't finish.
There's a man who finishes. Nick Anderson sitting on the bench right now for Orlando, up by 10. And Orlando taking advantage of Detroit's inability to score. Detroit's missed from every spot on the floor at one time or another tonight. Inside, outside. Hardaway. 10 on the shot clock.
There's a clear out.
Pull up over Dumars.
Oh, he's doing it. Posting up, dribbling, crossing over, getting in the paint, posting, spinning, and now facing.
Hardaway with 21 tonight. You know, they never want to play without Shaquille O'Neal, but the team in a different way is sometimes just as good with him on the bench. Houston hitting the jump shot. I want to re-emphasize they don't want to play without him, but when they do, they change their style and become a very effective team by posting and using those guards.
Well, the thing about Orlando is that, you know, they were a bad road team a year ago, 18-23. This year before the All-Star break, they had a minus, but they ended the year winning 8 of their last 9 on the road.
Dennis Scott with a turnaround, but first the offensive foul.
Now, you know,
wave off the basket.
Bob, that is the second time he has scored on a spin move down inside. Now, Brian is really all upset with this because he really challenged the last one. He has scored two good pivot moves.
Talk about how well Orlando plays without Shaq. At the moment, they're on a 20-12 run with him on the bench with 4 fouls. Shaquille playing with stomach distress tonight, too. And one for Alan Mills with the penetration.
The people in this building are so frustrated. You know, we're frustrated because the game is very choppy. These people want to roar. They want to cheer. They want to give it. They want Game 4.
Yes, they do. And they're used to seeing playoff games here with Detroit having the home court advantage from the 89-90. That's only 6 years ago. People still remembering the good old days. That was Brian Shaw's 3rd personal. And we do have a 7-point game now. Magic by 7 with 43 seconds remaining in the period. Allen Houston has 20 points tonight for the Pistons.
And they're posting up Hardaway. Well, that was a great save.
Shaw beats Mills easily. Good alteration of the shot by Theo Ratliff, however, but a new shot clock now with a 2-second differential for Orlando.
Now Orlando opens up the floor. Now he can either go one-on-one or if he calls for it, he can get a high screen.
Michael Curry will fight him all the way down unless he's picked off by Joe Wolf. Hardaway with 3. Mercy.
That young man is doing it all in this quarter.
You know, I like Hardaway. I think he has a future.
Yeah.
Houston, offensive foul with that left shoulder. He just clobbered Hardaway out of frustration, probably.
Sure did.
4 fouls on Allen Houston.
Absolutely. Now, this is what you love about your star players. That's what makes them star.
Doug Collins is ejected.
Just threw him out.
I saw Doug come out at Ed Middleton off the bench, and he's been thrown out of this game.
with a quarter and more left.
He's very upset.
Doug very upset over the offensive call, and in this case, Doug didn't have a case because it was clearly offensive, but he's getting his frustration out here, and he should be careful. Doug Collins is out of here. So much for the tie.
Well, the fans are standing a standing ovation because they appreciate what Doug Collins has done this year with this basketball team. An improvement of 18 games, and any time that you finish the year.
Here's the play, and you can see that Allen Houston did not only hit him with his shoulder, but threw the left arm out there and got the offensive call. Doug very frustrating, and Alvin Gentry will take over. You know, Gentry was an interim coach in Miami as head coach down there after Kevin Lockery. Hardaway just missed the three again as the Magic lead 81-70 at the end of the third period. Shaquille has been on the bench with his 4 fouls. It hasn't mattered to Orlando. Collins is ejected. Orlando up by 11. It's the undoing. Here's the controversial play. That's the offensive foul called against Allen Houston. And Doug Collins jumping in the face of Ed Middleton, who made the call. Second technical foul. Collins ejected for the first time in a game this year.
Well, both technicals were by Eddie Middleton.
Joe Wolf missing. Mark West rebounding. You kind of feel a Detroit run maybe after the ejection.
Well, you're hoping.
Possibly.
You know, you should be going right down inside. Force Wolf to play Otis Thorpe, and let's hope that you can get it going.
And Wolf gets called for the foul.
Your defensive end. You have West in there now with Thorpe and Hill. You're back to your regular starting unit now. You've got to go at him and go at him strong.
And here's Kevin Kyler.
Bob Alvin Gentry took over in the huddle right away. Said, play Shaq straight up. The only thing that's hurt us in this game is offensive rebounds. Move the ball. Get open shots. You've not been doing it. We can get back in the game. He was emphatic about getting back in the game.
Yeah, good idea. Yeah, 81-70. Orlando, 11-19 to go in this game. In game one, there's illegal defense. Orlando outscores Detroit 33-17 in the third. Game two, 27-20 in the third. Game three, 30-22 in the third. It's been the undoing of the Pistons. Alvin Gentry in for Doug Collins since Doug was ejected with his second technical, and now with the illegal defense technical, Dennis Scott misses the free throw. A rarity. I will say this, Alvin came dressed for the role. He looks good.
He looks sharp. Was an assistant with Larry Brown with the Los Angeles Clippers. Was an assistant with Kevin Lockery, and when Lockery was dismissed, became the head coach of the Miami team.
Shaquille's jumper missed. Shaquille hit his first shot at the beginning of the game, hit 2 here in this third quarter, and those are the only field goals Shaquille has. He's playing with stomach disorder.
See, they are not allowing Joe Wolf. Wolf is smacking people around here right now, and they're just calling him. It's nice to see Allen Houston, as soon as he saw that he had Wolf picked him up on that switch, take him right off the dribble.
Magic by 11. Detroit looking for offense, any kind of offense. That's another foul against Orlando, and the team fouls building here. That'll be the third against Orlando with a lot of time left. It's on Joe Wolf, and that's his 4th personal. So those things will add up at home too when you got a 4th quarter and you're sending players to the free throw line. Grant Hill back in. He's carrying 4 personals. Missing what would be for him normally a cake shot.
See, he can take him down in there. He can post up Scott or take him off the dribble down and then shoot over the top of him any time.
Dennis Scott with 10 is trying to back in Dumars. 3-second violation, the call from Hugh Hollins. Here's something interesting also about Grant Hill. He has had limited playing time. He set out a lot in the first period. But in that time, Grant Hill not only has only 2 field goals, he's taken only 6 shots in this game. Tonight's Dutch boy in the paint. Magic up 81-70 with 10:23 to go.
Well, that's like a wash this evening, except Grant has been all over the boards. Okay, playing without Shaq, you can see they're up 9 points. After Shaq picks up that 4th foul, you got to give Penny Hardaway the majority of the credit. There's Horace, the #1 defender for Orlando, the #1 guy that does all the dirty work in the rotations after they switch and trap. And then Penny Hardaway, he just had a sensational 3rd quarter.
11-point Orlando lead with 10 minutes 18 seconds to go in Detroit's season, unless they come from behind here. Allen Houston. That's a 3. That's big.
That's nice. They've got to help. With Joe Wolf playing Thorpe, they've got to help. So they double team with Shaq. That's going to open up your 3-point game. You can get that anytime. And also posting Hill, you'll get the double team to help Scott. And that opens up the threes.
A single team on Shaquille, and that's what you get for that.
Yeah, that has not been good in games 1, 2, and 3.
If you're a youngster watching at home, don't single cover Shaquille.
No, you just don't get it done.
Joe Wolf, foul number 5.
And you like this? This is their 4th team foul. Keep an eye on the big fella now. The only time that they got him confused and they messed him up down inside was when they were double teaming, bringing those people on the baseline side. But give Orlando credit because they've been clearing out that backside now, taking a guy up high and making it a longer run for the double teamer.
Yeah, next time Orlando fouls, it'll be 5, and Detroit will be going to the line for the rest of the game.
Did you see that? Another double team and another jump shooter opened up.
Isn't it interesting how that happens?
How that can happen.
That's been Orlando's story thus far in this game, but now with Wolf down there, they're getting away with it, and Detroit's making them pay. And Detroit all of a sudden looks like they're playing much smarter when they have the opportunity after the double team. And Houston with a 3-point lead over the Lakers in the 3rd quarter.
Fouls on Mark West. His 3rd, team's first.
Joe Wolf goes out with his 5 fouls, and Horace Grant gets back in the game.
Don't you like the assignment? Mark, listen, just keep him out of the lane as he goes plump into your chest, and he's just moving you back, right? And then he has the nerve to spin to the baseline.
Mark West was making a comment about Shaquille O'Neal, and Mark is, with a veteran he has played all the great centers.
That's right.
And he says he has not seen any with the combination of power and athletic ability as Shaquille O'Neal.
Quickness of foot.
Magic by 10. Shaq 4 or 5 from the free throw line tonight.
He's still hanging around here. Hanging around, you can make it go.
Grant Hill inside Otis Thorpe.
Oh, wow. Little late. I think that was on the face of the Detroit players. Horace Grant comes on that rotation to help out. Now watch Grant come right in here. See, boom, and he hits.
And that's 5 on Shaquille O'Neal with 8:49 to go in this game. It's a 10-point game, and Detroit will not be able to say they haven't had the opportunity here.
Oh, it's been here for them, no doubt about it, Bob.
Doug Collins has been ejected. Alvin Gentry. Brian James coaching over on the sideline. And John Hammond. And a beautiful save by Dumars.
Now, this would be great if they could make a score. Clear out and let them take it. Let them take it.
Grant Hill hard to the hoop and a foul.
You're right on that one. Come on, he had that one all the way. You know, I mean, he lit up. Grant Hill just says, hey, I can take any of these guys. And it's just nice to see him stepping up here now.
And that's 4. Remember now, Shaquille O'Neal has 5 fouls. That's the 4th on Horace Grant. And look at this play by the veteran Dumars.
It's just great. Grant hit the first foul shot. It was good hustle by everyone, and it's nice that they could finish it off with a score.
Well, if Detroit is going to have a chance to extend the series, they have everything going for them. There's an offensive rebound off a missed free throw. Out of bounds, and the foul on Orlando. It's 5. No, hold it. It's on Scott.
It's on Scott. But that's okay.
That's 3 on Scott.
Because they're shooting. Now, you give Otis Thorpe a lot of credit. He's in there banging, keeping that ball alive. And it was forced, you know, he was going to take Grant right up to that rim that time.
You see that shot of Dumars and Alvin Gentry? That shows you the young coach and the veteran player. Normally it's the coach talking to the player. You see there, it's Dumars talking to the coach. So you got a coach on the floor here with Joe, and John Concack gets back into the ball game, carrying 4 personal fouls. Shaquille on the bench with 5. 8:33 to go. We're going to see a lot of free throw shooting here by the Detroit Pistons. They've not shot well in the series. They'll need it here if they're going to come back. Down 6, 8:33 to go. Detroit with a chance to stay alive at the Palace, and Terry Mills will be back in momentarily, trying to post Allen Houston.
Yeah, it's a good call. Little screen and roll here, and then post up Scott.
Now Grant Hill trying to keep Scott out of there. If that's on Grant Hill, that's his 5th.
They catch him with the forearm. Now you're allowed to put the forearm in the man's back, but you are not allowed to move him out.
Coming up right after this, game 3, Seattle at Sacramento. It's tied at 1 game apiece. So both the superstars, although Orlando has 5 superstars, both of the big stars, Grant Hill and Shaquille O'Neal, on the bench with 5 fouls. 8:15 to go. And that's going to really hurt Detroit. Anderson, penetration. Concact follows.
Wow, every game that you do, all your guys from Atlanta get the job. Dennis Scott, now your guy Concact. Now you're feeling good, aren't you?
They know that if they come through, I'll give them some pub. I've kind of brought you into the fold there a little bit. Here's Terry Mills down low. Knocked out of bounds by Orlando with 9 on the shot clock. And Concact, playing with the sore ankle, still gets the tip in here.
You're going to see this is a nice move by Nick. He ends up with a bad shot. Keep an eye to the right of your screen. There's Concact.
Inside to Michael Curry all alone, and he lays it in. It's a 6-point Magic lead.
And you're right there now. It's got to come with the good, solid defense. You have to hound these guys and hold Orlando to 1 shot.
Michael Curry, who's making about $1.50, defending the multi-millionaire Penny Hardaway. 3-second call.
They called that on Concact. Concact can't believe it. Look at him. He was talking to you, Hollins. You just saw Brian Hill with a little laughter. I mean, his toe must have been in the paint, okay? Because from this angle, it definitely looked like he was outside the lane.
And it's a big call, because this is a 6-point game with 7:19 to go. Orlando already over the limit. Only 2 team fouls so far against the Pistons. These free throws will make a difference. Joe Dumars on the drive. He traveled.
Yeah.
He wanted to bait Anderson into a foul, but Nick Anderson was not to be baited.
No, that was strong defense by Nick. He knew that Joe would use the head fakes.
Kept his feet on the ground, and Orlando gets it back after a 3-second violation.
Now, you like to see a little movement here with Orlando. They're taking Penny right down into the post off a high screen.
They're going to get a hold on Michael Curry as Hardaway was trying to get the lob going to the basket, and Curry picks up his 3rd. We have a timeout. Alvin Gentry now coaching for the Pistons, as Doug was ejected for only the 2nd time in his career as a player and a coach. The only other time came in Doug's last year coaching the Bulls in a regular season game at Milwaukee. So Collins in the locker room, his team down 6, Gentry filling in as the sideline coach.
Now, Detroit has committed 3 fouls in this quarter. The Magic are already over the limit. They're trying to post up Penny Hardaway. Curry doing a nice job.
Big pick by Concact, and Dennis Scott just slid right around the corner, hits the jump shot. Dennis has 18 points. It's back to an 8-point lead. Shaquille with 5 fouls. Horace Grant with 5 fouls. Detroit just can't hit the perimeter shots when they need them.
See, what you like about Orlando is that their offense is rather smooth. They know where they're going. They're going to post Penny Hardaway right down in there right now. You go to double team, they're going to hurt you with the 3s.
Otis Thorpe.
Oh, you got to end that.
Offensive foul.
Wow. Wow. Once again, good defense by Orlando. You know, that's been their Achilles heel. But right there, Nick Anderson, one guy that does a good job for them, along with Horace Grant, in rotating and taking charges.
And now Thorpe with his 5th personal foul. Magic by 8, 5:59 to go. A lot of foul trouble. We'll collect that for you and show it to you here in a moment, as we have several people in foul trouble on both sides. What a move by Anderson around Allen Houston. It looked as though his feet were nailed to the floor.
Well, they brought him across the lane with a baseline screen by Horace Grant. And then, no doubt about it, Bob, he sure fooled them.
Houston penetrated. Big bucket by Allen Houston. Now back to 8.
You have 5.5 minutes here. You have plenty of time. Main thing right now is that you have to belly up defensively. Once again, the screen for Anderson.
Grant Hill with 5 fouls. Double team help comes. And the turnover. Anderson tried to hit Grant. He couldn't control it. Pistons have a chance to pull to within 6 again. Shaquille on the bench with 5 personal fouls. He's about to come back into the ballgame with 5 minutes left.
Now he can take, Scott. He can take.
Illegal defense called by Ed Middleton against Orlando. Shaquille is back into the game. So this will be a technical free throw shot, and the Pistons, if they hit it, could pull to within 8 and then still have the ball. Pull within 7 and still have the ball.
That's right. Yeah, this made, you know, nice break for them.
Yeah. Joe Dumars.
Everyone has a time clock, their own time clock of when to bring back their star player. Now, Brian waited tonight. He said, well, why did he wait so long? Well, why not? Because he's had that nice, comfortable 7-8 point lead.
I remind you again for the umpteenth time tonight, Shaquille also playing with stomach flu. It's affected his performance. Magic by 7 points with 4:53 to go. Grant Hill looking for penetration, not been able to find any. Good bounce pass to Terry Mills. Grant Hill's going to try it again. He kicks it. Look at the defense. Allen Houston finally, and the foul on a 3. I believe it was a 3. Let's wait a minute. Maybe only a 2. Dumars will go to the line. It was a 2.
Yeah, this is just a real nice move by Joe to find him. Yeah, he was inside the line.
But a 3-point opportunity coming up here for Allen Houston. It's a 5-point Magic lead. Our very expensive TNT seats here are behind the crowd here. I don't know how we got. We're in the Bob Euchre seats tonight, so we can't see much down on that end of the floor. You'll have to work with us on it. Houston has 28 tonight.
It's difficult when you cannot see the corner.
Well, they pay a lot for the seats.
Well, they're going once again for that baseline screen. Anderson on Hill.
And the block came from Reed. Now the foul on Reed.
Good call. Solid call. Great block. A terrific block. Unfortunately, they could not come up with the loose ball. That will put them. You can see it here. Now just watch now from the top right there by Mills and then by Reed.
Yeah, Mills had a really nice play on that. Then Reed very overly aggressive.
Now that was their 4th foul. Next one. Both teams are shooting the penalty now.
Detroit on an 8-0 run, trailing 91-87. Hardaway hits the top of the backboard. It's still in play. Rebound Allen Houston. A chance for the Pistons to pull to within 1 or better. This will tie it. If it falls. Magic by 4. Detroit hoping to stay alive. Down 0-2 in this first round playoff series. Doug Collins in the locker room ejected. Alvin Gentry coaching.
They're finally going down inside to the big fella. No double team, and he has Reed. You know, that should be automatic from now that he's back.
There's the foul trouble. 5 on O'Neal and Wolf, 4 on Koncak and Grant, 5 on Hill and Thorpe, 4 on Houston. That's been a significant factor here in the 4th quarter. Plus, Detroit has been in the penalty since 9.5 minutes were left in this and haven't taken a lot of advantage, even though they have pulled to within 4. And now, for the rest of the way, Orlando will be shooting.
Well, we said during the year he only shot 48% from the line. In this series, he's shooting 37.
4 of 5 tonight until he missed that one. Now 4 of 6 for Shaquille as Thorpe is back in and Reed sits down.
It's good strategy. You know, they're playing offense, defense with Reed and Thorpe now.
Shaquille misses them both. 4-point Orlando lead. Timeout, Detroit. Collins in the locker room. Alvin Gentry, John Hammonds, and Brian James coaching these Pistons who are down by 4. Yeah, we're late here because of an 18-minute delay at the half when the shot clock went out. Detroit down 4, 3:25 remaining in this game. Allen Houston looking to work on Horace Grant. Pull up jumper baseline, doesn't fall. Thorpe can't control it. Oh, it's a game for men down there now. Big opportunity for Detroit. Allen Houston, their best perimeter shooter, missed it.
They're going to run Penny Hardaway down inside on Joe Dumars.
It's been nearly 3 minutes since Orlando has scored.
Now they're big at the shot. See, misdirection. Nice move. See, what that was misdirection. They're giving you Penny Hardaway on one side. You take that away, they bring it right back over, and then they get what they really want, and that is Shaq down inside. And he's played head up in that situation.
Mills, first personal. Shaquille O'Neal with these critical free throws. He's missed his last 2, 4 of 7 tonight. Missed that one his last 3. Kevin Kiley, what do you have for us?
Alvin Gentry last time out, he told Terry Mills, Shaq gets the ball, you hack him and make sure he goes to the free throw line. Told Joe Dumars he has to play Penny, can't foul him, got to play him on defense. Back to you, Bob.
92-87, 5-point Orlando lead, 2:52 remaining. Houston with the penetration into Mills. See, Mills just can't get it to the hoop. Dumars kicks it. Thorpe, Houston.
They've passed up three opportunities here, Bob. They passed up 3 great shots.
Now Terry Mills for 3. They got the offensive board. Dumars.
Yes.
Get up, Houston doesn't miss. It's 92-90 Orlando with 2:25 to go. And Detroit's Pistons have an opportunity to stay alive.
Both teams are into penalty. Both teams have 3 timeouts. No 20.
7 seconds to shoot. Hardaway on the drive. Pass inside, foul on Mills.
That time Grant was moving without the ball. Mills stepped inside.
Second penalty situation.
Again, I'll remind you, Doug Collins ejected with 2 technicals. Alvin Gentry coaching this team. Dumars, after 3 misses by Detroit, Dumars hits the big shot. Of course, we've seen this about 1,000 times.
Horace Grant, a 73% shooter on the season.
Wild and wacky crowd here. You'd think this series was tied. The fans in Detroit still full of hope. Grant gets the free throw.
I like the way they've come back, though. They've come back. The people, this is only their 11th sellout of the year. This place holds 21,450.
Horace Grant protecting now only his 2nd free throw of the night. Magic go up by 4. Timeout, Detroit. So the Orlando Magic, hoping to close this out with a 3-0 sweep, are up by 4. 2:08 to go in this game. Both teams in the penalty. Orlando has 3 full timeouts. Detroit 2 fulls. Neither team with a 20. Neither, of course, with a foul to give. And the Magic leading at 94-90. And Grant Hill tonight, Detroit's man, is playing with 5 fouls. He has taken only 7 field goal shots in this game. Will he step up in this final 2? Here's Kevin Kiley.
Terry Mills, the first option here. Whoever Dennis Scott is guarding is to pick for Terry Mills. If he doesn't have the shot, they're going to post up Otis Thorpe inside.
All right, let's watch for it. Thanks, Kevin. Mills down to the baseline. Here's Mills popping loose. Looking for the next option. Otis Thorpe. The tip doesn't fall. Oh, mercy.
Yeah, Mills kept that alive. Got it up there twice.
Magic now with a big possession. They're up by 4. This is a veteran Orlando team in the playoffs. Remember, they are the defending Eastern Conference champions.
I like that play. That was nice.
Oh, Horace Grant, nobody near it.
You know why? Because O'Neal rolled down the lane, took his man and Grant's man, and that opened up Grant at the top.
14 points, 15 rebounds for Horace Grant tonight. Joe Dumars misses the 3. Kept alive by Thorpe, but out of bounds. It's Orlando's ball. And that last inability to tip it in down there for Detroit may have been their last hurrah. Orlando by 6, minute 12 to go. And again, this is a boys team with Anthony Hardaway, who came into this game with no turnovers in the first 2. So he's not going to throw it away.
Now they're bringing Dennis Scott to the ball. The post up on Houston.
Inside a minute.
No, double team is late.
Anderson with 5 to shoot. Denied by Grant Hill. Anderson over Hill.
Oh, what an effort. What an effort.
Shaquille!
What an effort by Penny Hardaway. He's the one that kept that ball alive. He came from nowhere to keep that ball alive.
They say Shaquille O'Neal was out of bounds. Timeout Detroit with 47 seconds. And the Pistons down 6. Detroit has missed 4 shots. They are now down 6 points. 47.2 to go in the game. And Horace Grant commits the foul, reaching over Houston. And that will be Horace Grant's 5th foul.
Now, the bad thing about that is no time goes off the clock. All right, we're talking minimum, 1 to 2 seconds. You put them on the foul line shooting 2, where they can take this game now from 6 to 4, and very little time elapsed.
46.1 seconds remaining in the game. Crowd very quiet. Many of the 21,000 plus have already exited the building. With the Orlando Magic up by 6. Allen Houston, good free throw shooter, hits the first of his 2. Could cut it to 4 with a lot of time left. Don Reed back into the game for Terry Mills. A little more physical presence inside for the Pistons here. Curry on the floor, Lindsey Hunter out there with Dumars in Houston. So you basically have 4 guards and Don Reed on the floor now for the Detroit Pistons. Down 5, an opportunity to go to 6 as Grant Hill is on the bench.
Big thing here now. You make this, you pick up all over. You do not assume that they're going to call a timeout. You get in here and you deny, and then you foul quickly.
And that's what they did. Allen Houston, by the way, 30 points and has played every single minute of this game.
You want to try to get the steal first, though, Bob. You know what I mean? You want to overplay, and then try for the steal. You're down 4 here in this situation.
And that was the 5th foul on Houston. We're going to get Grant Hill and Terry Mills back in here as the brain trust of Orlando deciding and watching what the Detroit coaches are doing here to see what they want to do to match them.
Now, Nick is a 69% shooter for the year. Good foul. Once again, clock management is always a key. You always try for the steal, overplay tonight, foul, force them to make the foul shot.
96-92, Orlando by 4. Nick Anderson with 1 more free throw. You see there tonight only 3 of 7, only 8 of 14 in the playoffs, and that 8 of 14 is, you know, just 60%.
Even if he makes this, and takes it from 4 to 5, you still have 2 possessions.
With 45 seconds, Anderson does make it. Mills and Grant Hill are back into the game now, so it's Mills, Hill, Lindsey Hunter, and Dumars.
Good shots here now. You don't need a 3. You need a quick score.
And that's what Hill sees coming quickly to the hoop. And a foul. This could be a 3-point play.
Dennis Scott is stunned. He said, foul? Come on. I mean, he didn't even think he was that close. Now just keep an eye on this now. As he gets into the lane, Now just watch. He sees he has Scott. The middle's wide open. See, they catch him with that hand down on the hip. But come on, give me a break.
That was Scott's fourth foul. That's the mother of Grant Hill, Janet, watching in the stands tonight, hoping that her son and their team can go into a game on Thursday night here, down by 3 with 36 seconds, and Grant Hill able to pull them to within a basket with a hoop here, and a lot of substituting, Hubie.
Yeah, a lot of substituting. You're playing offense, defense right now. Detroit only has 1 timeout, Orlando 3. The main thing for Detroit now is if you make this shot, the clock is in your favor. The big thing is not to foul anyone. Play good, solid defense. Hope that you can get them to shoot and miss, because you still have another possession here. Plenty of time.
Detroit within 2, 97-95, 36.4 seconds remaining.
No bad fouls here now. Smart defense, and you must hold Orlando to 1 shot. Remember, Orlando has 3 timeouts. If they get in a jam here, they can always use a timeout.
10 seconds on the shot clock for Orlando, up 97-95.
High screen and roll.
With Grant and Hardaway. Now 3, now 2, Hardaway. Missing, Shaquille. Kept it alive, no whistle, hold it. Let's see what Ed Middleton.
Second clock here now.
Ed Middleton is going to talk to Hugh Hollins. There should have been a 24.
Yeah, they're calling for a 24-second clock here right now.
Did the shot hit the rim is the question. And Ed Middleton.
Now, we're going to give you the look here right now.
They're saying yes.
Let's see that. See if it catches that.
No.
Rim. Oh, it definitely catches the rim.
Yeah, now it's 97-95 on the scoreboard, and we've got a timeout. So let's just take a closer look at this. They're still disputed as to what the call is. It missed the rim.
Wow. No, wait, see, it catches the back of the backboard in the rim. And that's a tough call. That's really a tough call for these guys.
Now they're going to say that it was, in fact, a shot that did not catch the iron, even though, as you say, Hubie, it's very, very close. Horace Grant very upset, and they're going to give the ball to Detroit with 11 seconds to go in the game. Now they've changed it again, and it's 99-95.
Yeah, Eddie Middleton went over there and said, all right, he put his hand down and said that the basket was good.
Yeah. They waved it off. Now they've given them the basket. Orlando by 4, 11 seconds remaining. They said, the officials have ruled that it did in fact touch the rim. Watch it again very slowly. Does the ball change flight? Hard to tell. Nevertheless, it was counted as a reset of the clock. Magic score, 99-95. We've got another time. Orlando. And up by 4 with 11.2 to go. Now they're back again.
Quick score now. You got to go for the quick score.
Allen Houston hits the 3!
All right, you got to get all over them now defensively and foul.
There's the foul.
Great move.
And the man who goes to the line is Nick Anderson, who has struggled from the free throw line in this entire series with 7.8 to go, and the Magic leading it 99-98.
All right, now you're going to see right here now, good head fake and a possible, all right, if he would have been fouled to 4, now that takes it down to a 1-point game. They throw the ball in bounds, didn't get the steal, fouled, smart. Now remember, Detroit has no timeouts left, so they'll either be down, all right, they're down 2, a possible 3. But they inbounds the ball here now. Orlando cannot fall asleep. If they miss this foul shot, all they need is a 2. If they make it, Detroit needs a 3. They need a 3. They have no timeouts left now. You've got to get it in.
Here's the man to shoot the 3. Allen Houston working on Anderson, pulling up. Houston
too long.
Missed everything. 2 seconds. Dumars. It was blocked. And Detroit's season comes to an end in a flurry at the Palace. 101-98. The Orlando Magic on a mission to get back to the conference finals, despite all that publicity for Chicago. Sweep the Detroit Pistons 3 games to none, despite
98でマジックがデトロイトピストンズを下した一戦です。島本さんいかがでしたか？
惜しかったですね。
得点が出てますね。 まずこれがマジックの方ですが、ハーダウェイの24点、アンダーソン22点、スコット18点、グラント16点、オニールが13点ということで、このハーダウェイですね、特に第3クォーターの活躍が光りました。ピストンで見ましょう。このなんと言いましてもアラン・ヒューストンの33点が光ります。ヒル17点、ソープ、デュマースが15点で、ベストが7点ということなんですが、
ヒルを抑えられたとはいえ17点ね、いったっていうのは見事だと思いますね。
ヒロさん、どんな印象をお持ちになりましたか？
そうですね、前半もお話ししましたけども、ディフェンスでポイントを絞って、それがどちらともうまくいってたと思うんですよ。最終的には総合的にやはりマジックの方が1枚上だったかなっていう感じなんですね。
これで島本さん3連勝で、カンファレンスセミファイナルへ、次のステージへ進みましたね。
そうですね、次はマジックはそうですね、アトランタ・ホークスとインディアナ・ペイサーズの勝者ですね。インディアナ・ペイサーズはレジー・ミラーがね、目の手術でまだ出てないということで、やはりちょっときついのかなと。どちらにしろ、これからもう今度は7試合のうち4試合勝たなきゃいけないという、もうファーストラウンドとはもう全然違うね。
そうですね。さあ、それではその他のプレーオフのファーストラウンドの模様を見てみましょうか。ブルーズとヒートの3回戦の模様をここでちょっとご覧いただきましょう。ブルーズはヒートの今日は3回戦を迎えています。ブルーズ対ヒートの3回戦です。ブルーズはやはりこの人、ジョーダンがダンクを決めます。続いてスリーポイントシュート、第1クォーターだけで14ポイントを挙げます。今度はジョーダンのアシストからピペンがダンク、ブルーズが14ポイントの大差をつけます。ヒートもモーニングもダンクで応酬です。ブルーズが62対44とリードして前半を終了。第3クォーター、ピペンがスリーポイントシュートを決めます。そしてアシストと大活躍。第3クォーター終盤、ブルズはジョーダンのこのシュートで21ポイント差として、結局ブルズが112対91で完勝しました。その他のイースタンカンファレンスのファーストラウンドですが、ニックス対キャブスはご覧のようにニックスが勝ちました。3連勝。これでカンファレンスセミファイナルで同じく3連勝したブルーズと2年ぶりの対戦ということになります。続いてサンズ・スパーズは94対93、サンズ。ブレイザーズ対ジャズは98対90でブレイザーズが勝って2勝2敗となっています。という他の結果をご覧いただいたんですが、いかがですか、その今の結果を見ましてですね。
やっぱりもつれますね。それにしてもやはり、マイケル・ジョーダンなんですかね、さっきの、
すごいですね。
なんであんなことができてしまうんでしょうね。
これで先ほどご紹介しましたように、ブルーズの方は、ニックスと対戦が決まったわけですね。そして今勝ちましたマジックは、先ほど話がありましたようにまだペイサーズとホークスの決着がついておりませんので、その勝者と、カンファレンスセミファイナルで対戦ということになります。イースタンはご覧の結果になっている3連勝がブルーズ、ニックス、マジックと、これが次のステージへの進出、カンファレンスセミファイナルへの進出がすでに決まったということです。それからウエスタンカンファレンスはまだ3勝を挙げたチームはありません。
イースタンはあっさり3つが 3-0 でいきましたけど、ウエスタンは荒れてますね。
そうですね。というここまでの結果をご覧いただいているわけなんですが、さあ、マジックに対するこの後の期待を島本さんからお願いします。
何しろマジックは昨シーズン、ファイナルまで行ってるわけです。そういう意味では、何しろ、次のアトランタ・ホークス、インディアナ・ペイサーズを、破って、シカゴかニューヨークか、シカゴでしょうね、そこで資料を消しなきゃいけないと、もう頭の中全部それになってると思いますね。
そうですね。広瀬さん、この3連勝で次のステージ進出というのはやはり違うもんですか？
そうですね、勢い的にも乗ってますし、また試 試合なるべくタフなゲームになってきますので、少ない方がいいわけですよね。ですからこれ3連勝できたっていう意味は大きな意味を持っていると思いますね。
はい、そして何と言いましてもハーダウェイとそれからオニールということになるんですが、オニールについていかがですか。
そうですね、今日はあんまりいいところはあまり見られませんでしたけども、これから多分爆発してくれるんじゃないかなと思います。
全体見ても非常に10点以上上げる選手がスターティングメンバーほとんど全員が10点以上上げるという得点力から見ても非常にバランス取れてますね。
シャックがこのままで終わるはずはないですから、本当にね爆発してほしいです
ね。この後のオーランドマジックの健闘を期待したいものです。解説は島本和彦さんと広瀬雅也さんでした。ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。
それでは今晩はこの辺で失礼します。